Breaking now at noon, charges are officially filed against a would-be assassin. What we know about the suspect aiming for former President Trump. Plus, a fire on Atwood Avenue in Madison overnight, leaving some without their home today. We have the latest on the investigation. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Josh Sprider. We do begin with that breaking news this afternoon. The man involved in an apparent assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump has been charged with federal gun crimes. At his first appearance in court, Ryan Wesley Ruth was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Ruth is facing up to 20 years in prison if convicted on both charges. His next court appearance is a week from today. The charges stem from Sunday's assassination attempt at Donald Trump's golf course in Florida. The former president says he is not hurt after Secret Service members opened fire on the would-be assassin. They saw the barrel of an AK-style rifle pointing out of the bushes, aimed right at Trump.
Between 300 and 500 yards, but with a rifle and a scope like that, that's not a long distance.
The suspect then drove off. Local authorities arrested him without incident. Officials say they recovered an AK-47 style rifle, a scope, and a GoPro camera at the scene. The suspect has been vocal on social media where he's attempted to recruit soldiers to fight against Russia in Ukraine. The suspect also supported Trump in 2020, but at some point switched his allegiance to the Biden-Harris administration. Well, we are staying above average for temperatures once again this week. First Warren meteorologist Kelly Slifka has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Hi, Kelly.
Yeah, good afternoon, Josh. Another warm day. In fact, I wouldn't doubt if some of these locations here in southern Wisconsin don't even get very close to a 90 today. Hard to believe, but right now we do have some high thin cirrus clouds out there. Still looking at quite a bit of sunshine across Madison at the noon hour, so we are looking at some nice conditions here locally. We are calling for some warm temperatures today. As mentioned, a few of these temperatures could be flashing 90 degrees or better today. We'll be staying dry. We really need some rain. Everything's getting really brown. Can't rule out some showers this weekend. It's not going to be a washout by any means, and definitely not going to really hinder us from continuing with this drought that we have ongoing. I don't have a whole lot of smoke, thankfully, on this Monday that we had last week. A visible cloud track, seeing a few high thin cirrus clouds, but that's about it. Otherwise, pretty quiet weather across most of the upper Midwest. We're already up to 85 in Madison. Same goes for Monona, 84 in DeForest, 82 currently in Middleton. So as we look ahead, 85 right now, we're going to be topping out in the upper 80s, getting very close to 90. We'll call for partly sunny skies. Once again, some of these high thin cirrus clouds filtering out the sun just a little bit with that southeast wind, less than 10 miles per hour. As mentioned, it's going to be dry most of this week. We do have some shower chances this weekend. We'll take a look at it coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, Kelly, we see you then. Thank you. New at noon, Vice President and presidential candidate Kamala Harris is coming to Madison this week. Details are very limited this afternoon, but we do know that she will be here on Friday sometime in the early evening. This is just days after the Associated Press reported that Harris would be visiting Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin to shore up what the vice president calls the blue wall. This will be her 9th visit to Wisconsin in the last year. Republican VP nominee J.D. Vance will be in Eau Claire tomorrow. This afternoon, 4 people and 2 pets are without a home after a fire on Madison's east side. Fire crews responded to the units above the Victory Madison Cafe close to 10 o'clock last night. It is on the corner of Atwood Avenue and Corey Street. Investigators say the start of the fire was electrical. The Madison Fire Department did not say anything more. However, they confirmed the fire started on the outer walls. Damage is estimated at $250,000. Madison Fire does not believe it was intentional. The Red Cross is helping those displaced. Right now, a Columbus woman is dead after a house fire. Officials say 63-year-old Kathleen Hamilton died from injuries resulting from that fire. It happened Friday on West Harrison Street near the United Methodist Church. First responders arrived quickly to the scene and found the 2-story home on fire. They then found Hamilton seriously injured on the front lawn. Medics took her to the hospital where she later died. Investigators have not determined a cause for that fire, but they do say it is not suspicious. Richland County residents are learning about a data breach that may affect them after almost a year after it happened. Residents in Richland County and even some people who have never lived there say they have gotten letters from a New York law firm in relation to the breach. In a Facebook post, the Richland County Sheriff's Office says the letters are legitimate and to call the numbers listed on the letter instead of their office. A notice on the county's website says the hack happened around October 4th of last year. You can find out more how to protect yourself and your information on the Richland County website. Well, still ahead for us this afternoon. If you have a question or concern about your plants or garden, now's the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will join us later in the broadcast with those answers. Again, that is tips@channel3000.com. Up next for us, how the Fed is hinting at cutting interest rates this week, and Walgreens pays a big settlement after overcharging customers.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon. Moving forward.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished?
There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it. And I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Did you get hit with big energy bills this summer? You aren't alone, and we want to help. Because if your house was hot this summer, it's going to be cold this winter. And heating and cooling is by far the biggest energy user in your home. That's why our foam insulation is such a great investment. Our best offer of the year just ended August 31st. But to help you get ready for winter, we're going to extend it until September 22nd, the first day of fall. When we foam your walls, we'll insulate your attic for free.
USA Insulation.
Rank Seed is rooted in technology, striving to bring the best products to their customers. With DNA genetic breeding, GPS-linked yield assessment, along with gravity tables and color sorters to make the best seed. Rank Seed, rooted in technology.
There are over 21,000 Wisconsin veterans struggling to pay for rent and utilities.
Thank you for your service.
Many are also facing issues with their mental health.
Thank you for your service.
We must do more to help these heroes who have already sacrificed so much.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Words simply aren't enough.
I'm sorry.
Make a difference by donating to this critical Wisconsin survival safety net today.
4 years ago, in this alley, rioters threw a brick at my face and knocked out my teeth. Why? Because I was a police officer. And what did Kamala Harris do? While America's cities were burning, Kamala was defending peaceful protest. She raised millions to help bail rioters out of jail and supported defunding our police, making us all less safe. Kamala Harris is dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Fall is just around the corner. Let the experts at Feldco get your home ready for the cooler temps ahead. Right now, buy one window, get one free, plus no interest for 3 years. It's the perfect time to make valuable upgrades to your home and save more money in the process. Our custom windows are built in the U.S. to the highest standards and made to withstand the harsh Midwest weather. Buy one window, get one free, and soon. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Economic experts are predicting that the Federal Reserve is likely to lower interest rates for the first time in 4 years during its meeting on Wednesday. The Fed has been hinting at possible cuts as inflation drops and the job market cools. Traders are hoping for a bigger than usual slash in rates. Walgreens says it will pay $106 million to settle lawsuits in Texas, New Mexico, and Florida that claim the drug retailers submitted false payment claims with government programs for prescriptions that were never filled. The company says it's corrected the error and has refunded all overpayments. And Tim Burton's sequel, Beetlejuice, had another big weekend at the box office, selling $51.6 million in tickets, down only 54% compared to its opening weekend. The horror film Speak No Evil nabbed the second spot with just over $11 million, followed by Disney and Marvel's Deadpool and Wolverine, which raked in $5.2 million. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Matt Piper.
And at the noon hour, here's your stock report. The Dow is up 119 points, NASDAQ down 141, and the S&P 500 down 5. Pam is watching today's egg prices straight ahead, and Kelly is tracking the first warn forecast. Then later on Live at 4, movie critic Will Loper checking out the new thriller, Speak No Evil.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine at Hy-Vee. Schedule online today or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Plus, get your flu shot and earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Only at Hy-Vee.
Welcome to Washington, D.C. You got a bunch of loudmouth, preening politicians. It's absolute chaos. I'm Derek Van Orden, and after 26 years as a Navy SEAL, there's a few things that I learned. You stay on mission, you know what you're fighting for, and sometimes you gotta get a little dirty to finish the job. Let's go, kids. Not you. Not you. You. Let's go. I'm Derek Van Orden. And I approve this message.
Looking for the best value in contact lenses? At Stanton Optical, score an annual supply of AccuView Oasis plus a free contact lens eye exam for only $189. The numbers are in. At Stanton Optical, you save a whopping $280. You're not going to find a better deal with the other guys. Now that's what I call value. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Be the scariest house in the block this Halloween at Menards.
We all know costs are too high, but while corporations are gouging families, Trump is focused on giving them tax cuts. But Kamala Harris is focused on you.
Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency.
She'll make groceries more affordable by cracking down on price gouging. And she'll cut housing costs by taking on corporate speculators. Middle-class families build America. We need a leader who has their back.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise. Get the updated COVID-19 vaccine at Hy-Vee. Schedule online today or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Plus, get your flu shot and earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Only at Hy-Vee.
A new era begins.
And I'm just getting started.
Bigger cases.
She was lured to your apartment.
Higher stakes. Never seen before in daytime.
In front of millions of people.
Judy Justice.
Weekdays at 3.
Students have a lot of power and influence over how this election is going to turn out.
I'll show you how young voters are getting their voices heard and the impact this could have in November. 3 for the People, tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Welcome back at noon. Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Josh. Yeah, it was a warm one for the Packer game yesterday. I had a lot of people that came back early to Pambo just because of that direct sun. A little something to make sure you're monitoring yourself when it comes to these temperatures. I'm headed out the door, heading over to Waukesha for a farm visit in just a little bit, and I'm thinking about it too. Also thinking about the finalists for the 2024 Leopold Conservation Award. Here in Wisconsin, we're looking for farmers and landowners that go above and beyond when it comes to conservation, and we've got our 4 finalists. Let me introduce you to Bartling's Manitowish Cranberry Company. Manitowish Waters in Vilas County brothers David and Stephen Bartling have focused in on improving cranberry yields with nutrient management for better plant and soil health. They're also very much about crop pollination, so they've got their own honeybees in the area. Next candidate, Full Circle Farm. They're in Seymour in Shawano County. That's Rick Adamski, Valerie Dantoine, and their son Andrew. They rotationally graze beef cattle. They have pasture-raised hogs, laying hens, grow 10 acres of vegetables, and do it all while sequestering carbon on their pastures. The third finalist is Joe Hovel from Conover in Vilas County. He is all about Wisconsin's Northwoods. Started this as a woodland owner back in 1970 and has been working really hard on management of his 3,300 acres in several different counties since the 80s. And finally, our fourth finalist, Glacial Lake Cranberries of Wisconsin Rapids in Wood County. They've got 6,100 acres of cranberry bogs, forest, and wetlands that they're managing, focus in on diverse wildlife, flora, and fauna. We'll find out who our next Leopold Conservation Award winner is coming up later in December, and they'll be recognized at the Wisconsin Farm Bureau Federation's annual meeting in Wisconsin Dells. Markets today all focused in on what's going on with early harvest numbers. Wisconsin's just kind of getting started, but we're going to have to move fast now that this hot, dry weather is drying down a lot of our plants far quicker than some farmers had expected. So the markets are down on the midday, corn, beans, and wheat. And I also noticed that dairy is now started to slip back just a little bit on our fluid milk contracts. The Class 3 milk goes into the milk pool for cheese. Speaking of which, barrel cheese today is up a half at $2.49. 40-pound block cheese is up 2.5 at $2.30. Double A butter, though, today down 6 cents, still at a healthy $3.07 a pound, though, Josh. So keeping an eye on what's going on with our markets. But honestly, this hot, dry weather and persistence of hot, dry weather this week means that a lot of the harvest windows for our Wisconsin farmers have gotten elevated. So a lot of road traffic that you're going to encounter if you're driving in rural Wisconsin.
And a lot of dust because of how dry it is right now. It's insane.
Very true.
All right, Pam. Well, you have a great afternoon.
See you later.
Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. First, our meteorologist Kelly Slifka is out on the weather patio, and we really could use some rain, Kelly.
Yeah, you know, it's just been unbelievable. You know, the first half of the summer, actually basically first 2/3 of the summer, really wet. Then we haven't been able to buy a drop of rain basically since the first week of August. And this month, we've only had 2 100s. Look at this, our drought monitor. This is abnormally dry conditions. Now, the soil moisture deep down is still pretty good, but right at the surface, we are seeing obviously dry conditions with the lack of rain we've had here in southern Wisconsin. So, yeah, we are definitely in need of seeing some of this rain, and I don't see a whole lot coming our way. As mentioned, we've only had 2 100ths of an inch of rain so far. We should have about 1.75 inches up until this point. For the year, we're still at a pretty good surplus, but obviously we're eating away at that because we just have not seen any rain and do not see any rain coming our way this week. Maybe by the weekend, we can't rule out a few showers, but as far as alleviating any of the dry conditions, that's not going to improve that at all. But at least there's some hope for at least some showers going into the upcoming weekend. Look at this, temperatures today. Here we're talking about September, what is it, 16th? We're talking about temperatures getting close to 90 today, so just unseasonably warm weather. And as we go through the evening hours, we'll back off the 70s into the 60s. Thankfully, the humidity's down. It's not really humid out there, but I wouldn't doubt if some of these numbers don't show up getting close to 90 here in southern Wisconsin this afternoon. And it will be staying dry throughout the week and warm. Temperatures well in the 80s. This weekend, we do have some spotty showers in the forecast this weekend, but once again, this is not going to be anything widespread or any really substantial amounts. Our average high now is 73. We're shooting for 89. That's not far away from that record of 91. You got to remember, our sun sets now just after 7 o'clock. Do have a few cirrus clouds out here this afternoon. Still not preventing us from getting close to 90 today. We'll back off through the 70s. Here at still into the 70s after 9:30. Probably falling to the 60s after 10 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, waking up to temperatures very close to 60. And then we're right back into that sunshine tomorrow, heating us back into the mid-80s with southerly winds. As far as rainfall, dry conditions starting to move on in the east. We're seeing a little bit of wetness coming our way through the plains. But one thing's for sure, we're going to stay warm over the next 6 to 10 days across southern Wisconsin. That's because the jet stream way up to the north, you see all this cool air, it looks like it's going to plow right into us. But a lot of it's riding up and over that ridge and just retreating back up into Canada, and that's why it's going to be remaining so warm. We're already 85 in Madison, 88 in Janesville. Our first warm forecast calls for the 80s this week. A lot of sunshine. Until we get to the weekend, we'll start to see a chance of showers. Not great chances, maybe a thunderstorm, backing off into the 70s by Sunday into early next week.
All right, Kelly, thank you. Howard is in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen with a suggestion for what to make tonight that is easy and quick.
If you're stuck wondering what to make for dinner, wonder no more. Today's recipe is easy, adult and kid-friendly, and is on the table in less than 30 minutes. Check this out. We begin by cutting some boneless chicken breasts into strips. You can even use chicken tenders if you want. They're actually a bit cheaper. We dip these in a mixture we made by whisking together an egg, cornstarch, and a bit of soy sauce. We'll let them soak for a few minutes. In the meantime, in a plastic bag, we combine some breadcrumbs, sesame seeds, garlic powder, and a bit of salt. Then we give that a good shake. Now we add the chicken, a few pieces at a time. Seal the bag and shake it until it's evenly coated. This is a lot easier than hand breading it, where we usually get more coating on our fingers than on our chicken. We place the chicken on a baking sheet and spray them with cooking spray before popping them in the oven. Once the chicken is cooked through and the breading is golden, they're ready. Serve these up with an easy homemade honey dipping sauce, step back, and get ready for all sorts of compliments. To get the recipe for our fun-to-eat sesame chicken with honey sauce, just visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tender-as-can-be way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Ahead at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and gardening questions. You can email those questions at tips@channel3000.com. We'll get the answers next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Bidenomics is working.
It's not. ABC News proved it with charts.
It was under control
on
during
inflation,
the Trump administration, well below
gas,
$3 a gallon, 35%
and housing.
jump in home prices, folks.
Even CNN admits it.
When it comes to the economy, groceries were less expensive, housing was more affordable when Donald Trump was president.
Yet Harris still says,
Bidenomics is working.
no, it isn't.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Are you tired of the constant pain, numbness, tingling, and the poor balance caused by peripheral neuropathy? At Midwest Spine and Nerve Center, we help patients just like you with our non-invasive treatment options designed to reduce pain and improve balance and function without the need for drugs or surgery. Our personalized approach focuses on treating those symptoms and giving you back the life you deserve. Experience the benefits of a treatment plan designed to restore your quality of life. Call to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
I'm not old enough to vote yet, but I learned how 1 out of 6 of us will someday be raped. So please, think about me when you vote. I learned how our freedom to have an abortion was taken away, even in cases of rape or incest. Even to travel to get an abortion. Please, think about me.
You know who got rid of Roe v. Wade.
Now women are being refused life-saving care at hospitals, and politicians are trying to ban birth control. Please, think about me. My parents call me their miracle daughter because I was born with IVF. But IVF could be banned too.
Do they think we're less than human?
Do they think we can't make decisions about our own bodies? About our own lives? When you vote, please think about me. And me.
And me.
Because the politician who got rid of Roe v. Wade, he couldn't care less.
I'm Joan Balwig, and these days the cost to make Great-Grandma Balwig's blue ribbon banana bread is, well, just nuts. Wisconsin families are feeling the pinch of inflation, even on the basics. That's why I work to put dough back in your pockets. Led the effort to defend our family farms and pass the biggest tax cut in state history, because the only way to make life affordable again is to do what banana bread does and bring everyone to the table.
Welcome back. Lisa Briggs with the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. You can email them to tips@channel3000.com. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Not feeling like fall out there yet, is it?
Well, there is a big swing, though, between the highs in the day and the lows are all below 60. So that's a good sign that we're moving toward fall.
We're getting there.
We're getting there, yes.
What do we have today?
So this is a crown of thorns.
Ooh, okay.
And so usually they have like a, kind of some sparse foliage and kind of some mingy sort of peachy yellow flowers. But this is a new variety, and I think it's really cool. The flowers are really pretty. They last a long time. And yeah, It's just kind of a fun and unusual plant.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yes.
All right, we got a lot of questions. Let's get to it today. Lisa from Judah asks, when should I cut my peony bushes down?
You can cut them back now, Lisa, especially if they've got any fungal disease. I know mine are covered with powdery mildew. Make sure that if you did have some spots or that sort of whitish cast on there, that you send those cuttings to the city for their compost piles. Don't try to do it in yours. It won't get hot enough to kill the fungal spores.
Karen is wondering, is it too early to start trimming irises?
No, it is not. So I wouldn't move them now. It's a little bit late for thinning them, but you can certainly just cut the fans back to about 4 to 6 inches should be fine.
All right. John in Wanakee says he has a blue hibiscus. He has it potted and brings it into the sunroom every winter and every spring and takes it outside for the season. He seems to always struggle, but somehow always pulls through and blooms. Is this a plant that he could plant in the ground outside that would come back every year? If so, is it too late in the season to do so?
So I suspect that this is a Rose of Sharon, because most of the tropical hibiscus, the ones that you have to bring in and out, are not that blue color. I would ask that you snap a photo of a flower and send it to the plant desk at brucecompany.com to be sure. If it is a Rose of Sharon, yes, it can be planted outside, and it would do much better in a sunny, sheltered location. Although I'm not entirely sure I would do that this year. I would probably wait till next spring and transplant it at that point.
All right, we have a nameless question here. This person says they have some vegetable plants in their garden that are drying up before the vegetables are ripe. The garden was planted late because of all of the rain. They water a couple of times a week. Is there anything they can do?
Well, when you say you water a couple of times a week, I'm wondering what that means. The best way to do a veg garden when it's as dry as it has been is to get a soaker hose and kind of wind it through your rows and then water it for maybe an hour. Once a week, maybe when it's as hot as it's going to be this week and as dry as it's been a couple times a week. You want a good slow watering. Using an overhead sprinkler for 15 minutes is probably, that kind of watering is not going to do it.
All right, let's get one more question real quick here. Robin in Montello asks, can I dig up and move a clematis now or wait a few weeks? They want to move it to a sunnier location. They were planted last spring, fertilized them all summer. They look green, but aren't climbing or blossoming.
So a couple things. I would say that the clematis, I would wait until spring to move it. Moving it puts a lot of stress on the plant, and it is getting a little bit late in the season. The other thing I would say is, depending on what kind of fertilizing you're using, that could affect how it's flowering. You want to use something where that first number in that trio of numbers is lower than the middle and third number. Those are root developers and blossom boosters where the first number is all nitrogen and promotes green growth at the expense of anything else.
All right, we're getting a lot of those transitional,
yes,
we're going into fall, even though it's not feeling like it.
Saturday's the first day, so there we go.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Let's get a final check of the forecast with Kelly.
Yeah, not feeling like autumn yet. We're well into the 80s yet, except for Oregon, still hanging on to 79. But Madison, actually, at the airport, kind of rare to see it be one of the warmest temperatures in Dane County. But 85 right now at the airport, 83 in Middleton, Wanakee at 82. So yeah, the warm weather will continue. As mentioned, we do fluctuate. The overnight low is down in the 50s to around 60, it looks like, throughout the week. A lot of sunshine expected this week and dry weather. There might be a shower Thursday night. May have to kind of fine-tune that, but it looks like the better chances of rain, which isn't great, 30% only on Saturday and Sunday, and those will not be widespread rains and definitely not going to alleviate our dry conditions. But temperatures in the 80s this week, backing off into the 70s by Sunday, Monday, going into next week. Hopefully we get some rain this weekend, because after that, it looks like it'll be dry again by Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, we could use it. All right, Kelly, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Make it a great afternoon. We're back with more news live at 4.